Good morning and assalamu alaikum to all my lovely students of class 5. This is your teacher Ms. Sunayara and today we are back with another lecture of science. So kids, as you know that we have completed all the chapters which are included in our final term. Now we are going to have the review of all the chapters one by one. So let's get started with one of the chapter that we are going to cover today. So here comes the name of the chapter that we covered very first in final term, and the name of the chapter is Simple Machines. This chapter is our chapter number 6 and it is on page number 100 of your science book. So today we are going to have the review of chapter Simple Machines. Now kids, here comes the things to learn that we are going to relearn today one by one. And here comes the name. The bullet number 1 would be machine. First we'll learn about machine, then simple machines, then types of simple machines. And the types would be lever and its classes, pulley, inclined plane, wheel and axle, screw, and complex machines. So let's get started with the definition of machines. What is a machine? It allows you to do the work in a way that is easier. Can be quite simple. A machine changes at least one of three factors. So guys, simple is that machine can be anything that makes our work easier. Class, simple machines can be categorized or there are many kinds of simple machines. It can be divided into several kinds. But according to our book, we are going to learn only 5 basic types including lever, pulley, screw, wheel and axle, and inclined plane. Which is also a kind of simple machine, but that is we are not supposed to learn wedge in this chapter because we are just following the syllabus that is given in our book. So let's talk about the number 1, that is lever. A lever is a simple machine that consists of a rigid bar supported at one point known as fulcrum. This is very important for you. We need to remember that what is fulcrum. Fulcrum is basically the supported the thing which is supported by one of the point. That point would be fulcrum. And we can also say that fulcrum is the turning point of a simple machine. A force called effort is applied at one point on the lever in order to move an object known as load, located at some other point of the lever. Now here comes the example in front of you where you can see all these things. Number 1, fulcrum. You can see this is the turning point, and at one point we can keep the weight or the thing on which the effort is put, right? So that would be load, and the force would be applied, that would be effort. Likewise, we can see this thing in the pair of scissors as well. So we'll see that this is the turning point which is just in the middle. This turning point would be known as fulcrum, and where we are supposed to apply the effort, the force would be applied this one point. So this is going to be the effort. The thing on which the force is applied or the work which needs to be done would be kept here. So this portion is going to be load. This is how we can classify the lever according to the position of load, fulcrum, and effort. So we need to remember these three things very properly. As I told you that we have classified the lever into three main classes. We have not given their names as some different names are not given. The particular names are not given. We just call it as lever of class 1, lever of class 2, and lever of class 3. What is important in these classes? We need to see the position of fulcrum, load, and effort. As I told you that classes of lever are basically made according to load, fulcrum, and effort. So let's read it out. There are three types of the classes of lever according to where the load, effort, and fulcrum is located, or we can say that load, fulcrum are located with respect to the fulcrum. So if we see the class 1 has the fulcrum placed between the effort and load, while in class 2 this has the load in between the effort and fulcrum, and class 3 has the effort between the load and fulcrum. So as I told you that in lever of class 1 or first class lever, the fulcrum is between the load and fulcrum. So we need to remember the important example: seesaw, pair of scissors, right? These are the things which can be kept in lever of class 1. Now here comes the second class lever or lever of class 2. In a second class lever, the fulcrum is found at after or the other side of the load away from the applied force. And the best example can be taken as trolley. In this trolley, you can observe that fulcrum is not in between the load and fulcrum effort, but it is at the one point, while on the other point the force is applied. And what is the middle portion is showing? This is showing as the load. In lever of class 3, here comes some of the examples: broom, tweezers, tongs, fishing rod. Here, while looking at this picture, tweezers, you can easily identify that where the fulcrum, load, and effort are. Okay, so fulcrum and load are on different sides, while the effort is in the middle side, or we can say that in middle portion. So guys, this was all about the lever and its classes. Now we are going to see another simple machine that is named as pulley. A pulley is a wheel with a groove along its edge that holds a rope or a cable. So basically, we can see the pulley over here. You can see that it is a kind of wheel that has the groove. A wheel that has the groove, and the rope is wrapped around it, and with the help of this we can easily turn or change the direction of the force. Now you can see that this man is just pulling down the rope while the load is going up. He is pulling down the rope and the weight is going up. So you can see that the force is applied in different direction, and the work is done, or the load is done, or the load is moved in different direction. So we can say that the pulley is used to change the direction of force. All the pulleys cannot work the same way. A single fixed pulley consists of a wheel with a groove and a rope passing through it, as we just discussed. A single fixed pulley changes the direction of force, as I told you, but several pulleys can be used together to increase the force as well. Here you can see the single pulley, which is just used to change the direction of the force. But if we increase the number of the wheels of pulleys, so the force would be increased. This is the important point you need to remember, that the single fixed pulley is used to change the direction of force, while the several pulleys can be attached with each other to increase the force as well. Now here comes the next one, simple machine named as inclined plane. Before reading out the definition, we just need to know one word, that must be related to inclined plane. So when you look at the word slope, that is somehow indicating inclined plane. So what is inclined plane? Inclined plane is simply a slope from the main ground. So let's read it out. It is a plane. It is a plane surface set at an angle. You can see that this is the main ground, and this is also a plane surface, but it is set to an angle. It is set at an angle. This making of angle is just bringing the surface upwards. Okay, so this is how we can call it as inclined plane. So here comes another example. An inclined plane is simply a slope over which a load can be pushed up. An inclined plane is simply a slope over which a load can be pushed up, right? So you can see that how the man is moving with the help of wheelchair. So can he cross the stairs with the help of his wheelchair? Not at all. He needs a kind of ramp on which he can move his wheelchair. Now, so this ramp is basically making a slope. This ramp is basically making the angle with the main ground. So what is it? An inclined plane is simply a slope over which a load can be pushed up. You might have seen these kind of structures in hospitals. So the ramps in the hospitals is one of the best example of inclined plane. Or we can say that in hospitals, inclined planes are called ramps. Now guys, here comes the next one, simple machine. What do you see in this picture? You can see the bicycle. Bicycle itself is not a simple machine, but it is having a structure which can be categorized as simple machine, that is going to be wheel. That is wheel. Normally we know about the wheel, we do not consider axle. Remember one thing, wheel alone is never a simple machine. It must be attached with a rod, so that is why it would be included as simple machine. What is wheel? Wheel, one of the most important inventions of the man. Wheel is one of the most important inventions of the man. Wheel alone is not a machine, as I told you. It becomes simple machines when attached to a rod called an axle. So without this axle, wheel is nothing. Wheel cannot work like simple machine. When wheel is attached to the rod is called wheel and axle arrangement, or simply we can say that wheel and axle. It can increase the force, it can change the direction of the force as well. And we know well that where the wheels are used. Wheels are used in all vehicles and other machines. Now here comes another good example, that is Ferris wheel. Ferris wheel, we know that it is a kind of famous swing that we usually find in amusement parks. Okay, so this is called as Ferris wheel. So this is also a wheel. Do not just make this picture in your mind that only vehicles only vehicles use the wheel. There are some other things which also use a wheel. So if we see the Ferris wheel, this is also a kind of simple machine. Of course, this is not the simple machine, but here you can see that how the structure of wheel can be utilized to increase the force or to change the direction of the force. So if we consider it as a wheel, this one portion which is in the middle, a rod-like structure, that would be considered as axle. Okay, so this is not the simple machine because this is not the simple wheel. Of course it is a kind of complex machine because the screws are used, smaller wheels are used in it. But here I'm just gonna show you that wheel is not the thing that can only be used in the vehicles. It is the as we say that it is one of the most important inventions of the men, so it is going to be used in many other machines as well. Now here comes the next one, that is screw. A screw looks like a nail with grooves cut in it. Now what is it? A screw looks like a nail or a needle with grooves cut in it. These are the grooves, right? So what is a screw? The screw looks like a nail with grooves. The main thing is that it has a winding edge called thread. So these grooves are basically, here we are talking about grooves, that it is a needle like structure, or we can say that it is the nail like structures having the groove over the surface. Plus it is having the winding edge, with the help of which we can just make it tight in on the walls or in different things. So this is called as thread. What are these? These are the threads. So screw can never be completed without thread. So how do we use a screw? We use the screw by making it round and round. By the circular movement, we can just fix it somewhere. So here comes some of the examples of screws, where you can see a ball, spring, tap, and different things. So all these are the examples of screw. Bulb is not the simple machine, it's a complex machine. But this one portion of the bulb is just like the screw because it is having the thread, it is having the winding edge, which is called as thread, right? So here you can see some of the examples of screws. Now this is time to learn about the complex machine. In simple machines, we have seen the lever, pulley, wheel and axle, inclined plane, and screw. Now it's time to learn about the complex machines. I told you that bicycle is not a simple machine because in this bicycle, several simple machines are attached with each other. If the simple machines are attached with each other, then they are just known as complex machine. Now in this bicycle we can see the wheel and axle, we can find out many of the screws, okay, and apart from this there would be pulley like structure here, okay, and many more things we can find this as the simple machine. So when more than one simple machines join together to make the work done, so it is called as complex machine, or simply we can say that complex machines are those machines which are having several simple machines which are arranged or attached in specific or particular manner. Now guys, as you know that this is a revision class, you need to do this RT1 revision 1 in your copy 1. If your copy 1 is not having enough pages to write it, or you have just your copy is filled completely, so you can utilize your copy 2 as well. What you need to do first, you need to make the uh, index. In index you would write, first you would write the revision heading with your blue color, then you would put the date properly, then you will write the name of the chapter, which is simple machines, right? After maintaining the index, you need to make the flap for the revision portion. Everybody knows that how to make a flap. before starting the revision. You will start revision from the uh, first. You will see that either your work is done or not. If your work is not done, you can leave few of the pages to make your work done. Then you will make the flap of revision, right? Then afterwards you will make the title page of chapter simple machines for RT1. Then on the right line you will write the name, you will write the date, that is 22nd April. Then you will write question number 1 with your blue color. Question number 1 is, how are machines useful for us? Define. Here I have just skipped one line because I do not need to write the answer here, but you people need to write the answer. So of course you are not going to leave one line or two line. That is dependent that how long your question is, your answer is. So first you will copy down question number 1, then you will write the answer number 1. Then you will copy down question number 2 with blue color, that is, name the main types of simple machines. You will write the name types of simple machines in the answer. Then your question number 3 would be written. In your question 3, what you need to do, draw any diagram from lever of class 3. If you see lever of class 3, we are having few of the examples in your book, right? So you can draw any of the diagram from lever of class 3. After writing the 3 questions, then you will write the question number 4, that is fill in the blanks. You will write your fill in the blank number 1, it is, it consists of a rod free to turn about a point is called dash. Now when we're talking about the lever, I told you that there are 3 main things. Now which thing should come here? You are going to write the answer yourself, okay? It consists of a rod free to turn, or the turning point is called as dash. Number 2, it is one of the most important simple machine invented by men. We know it. You need to write the answer over here. Number 3, cutting paper with a pair of scissors. Here you need to just write the class of lever, that from which class of lever scissors belong. Number 4, a machine consists of a simple slope. A simple machine which is consisting of a simple slope would be known as dash. Nutcracker belongs to lever of class dash. Nutcracker is a kind of simple machine, and we know that it might be belonging to one of the class of the lever, so you need to just write the class. Now in the last, what you need to do, you need to write the reasons. That would be your question number 5, and it is having 2 of the bit number 1 is, all simple machines reduce force, yes or no. You will just mark, and if you write yes, or whether you write yes or no, you need to give the answer as well. Number 2 is, a bicycle is a simple machine. Is it a simple machine? If yes, so why is it a simple machine? If no, then why it is not the simple machine? You need to write the reason. So this was all about the revision of chapter simple machines, and written work should be done in your copy 1 or in copy 2. That should be done neat and cleanly, and you know that you need to write the questions with blue color and answers with pencil. Do the work. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay home. Thank you so much. Goodbye.